So one thing you're going to need to perform this is a soft rag. And the reason why is because this pin right here can be stubborn sometimes. So I use the soft rag to place over that pin, taking the base plate, and then I push the pin out. So I use the soft rag, so this way I don't mar anything up on your frame. So the first thing we need to do is make sure we're safe, and how we do that is by pushing this button right here. That drops your magazine. We're going to set this aside. Just because the magazine is out doesn't mean we're safe yet. We have to check inside the chamber to make sure that there's no ammo in there. How we do that is first, we have to take the safety off. So if your safety looks like this, we need to push the safety down to turn it off. Once you see the red circle, now you know the safety has been turned off. Next, you're going to grab the shadow like this. We're going to flip it over and we're going to push forward with this hand, while with this hand grabbing the slide from here or here, and then we're going to pull this way. And as you can see, there's no ammo in the chamber. So we are now safe. Next, we have to take this etching on the slide and match it up to this etching on the frame. How I do that is I take this part of my hand and I put it in this area right here, while these three fingers wrap over on top of the slide like this, and then you pull the slide to the rear. Just like that. So from here, you can flip it over. And if you can get to that pin, you push that inward, go ahead. If you can't, what I recommend is, like I said, matching those two pieces up. With this hand, you grip the slide and the frame like that. So this way you keep the slide in the correct position. Take your rag, put it over that pin, take the base plate, and then you're going to push the pin in just like that. Set the magazine and the rag aside. You can see there's no marring, and now you can release the pressure with your hand, set it up just like we did before this part in the webbing of your hand, the three fingers over again, line those pieces up again. From here, you're going to grab this piece and you're going to pull it towards you. You're going to pull it out just like that. Set this aside, release the pressure of your fingers, and then you're going to push the slide this way to take the slide off. You could set the frame aside. We're going to flip the slide upside down like this. Next, we have to remove the guiding rod and recoil spring. How I do that is I grab it from here. I'm going to push and compress the spring slightly while pulling up and then out on an angle. And it's going to look like this. So compressing, going up, pulling this out, setting this aside. Next, we're going to remove the barrel, and how we do that is by grabbing it from here, pulling up slightly and pushing it this way slightly. Once you've done that, then you can pull it out on an angle like that. And it's going to look like this. So up, forward, and then pull out. Just like that. Congratulations, you have successfully field stripped your CZ Shadow 2. So now let's put everything back together. So the first thing we do is pick up our slide, pick up the barrel. This part of the barrel right here goes into this area right here, goes in on an angle just like that. And then we're going to push the barrel in like this. And you can see that the barrel drops in right here. Next, we have to install the recoil spring and guiding rod. This part of the recoil spring goes into this area right here. But when we do that, we have to make sure that the flat side is facing the barrel. So I'm going to show you how that looks. So this part right here going into right here, we're going to compress the recoil spring and guiding rod until this part right here is past here, and then we're going to push downward. So compressing, we're past, pushing down. You can see how this piece is now in the correct area. The other thing I want to mention is you want to make sure that the recoil spring and guiding rod is aligned straight. You don't want it to be too far to the left or too far to the right. You just want it to be centered like that. Next, we're going to take this part right here and this part, and we're going to slide that onto right here and here. Okay, and it's going to look like this. So we're sliding this on like that. We're going to do the same thing we did before, which is take this etching and match it up to this etching. Once we do that, that's when we install this piece. So there's the round pin right here, and then there's the square piece right here. So that round pin goes in here, and the square piece goes into this open square piece. So what we need to do is, like I said, is to match these two etching pieces up like we did before. So put the webbing of your hand right here, pull your three fingers over the top and pull that etching piece back. Now that these two pieces are lined up, take the circle piece, put it into the circle area, and then push inward. Now, if you look from here, they're both lined up perfectly. Now what you're going to do is make sure, double check, make sure that the etchings are still together. Put your thumb on this part right here, and you're going to push inward. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Release the pressure from your fingers, and there you go. You have successfully installed the slide stop. Next, what I like to do is grip the shadow like this, flip it over, and you're going to push forward with this hand. Well, with this hand, you're going to grab the slide from here to here, pull it back towards you 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Everything feels like it's operating fine. I won't be dry firing this just because it's not mine. Again, if you want to dry fire it, you can, just to test to make sure everything's working properly. The last thing I like to do is reinstall the magazine. The flat side right here faces the rear of the shadow. This part right here goes into this hole right here. Slide this up, and you're going to push up until you hear a click. Boom, you heard the click, and now it's installed. If you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, if you're in the market for CCW insurance, check out Right to Bear. Link is in the description below. Use coupon code UBR10 to get 10% off your entire order. If you haven't already, please subscribe and tell a friend about the channel. Every subscriber helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.